Hello, you guys. I'm Nikki Holt. I'm so happy to have you here. Um, Kaylee was unable to make it. She had to do overtime today. So we are going to be talking about um, some of the tips to keep progressing, or maybe if you've fallen off track and you're needing to get back on the wagon, off the wagon. I don't understand. Get back on track with your eating habits, then this is the episode that you're going to want to listen to. Um, so I, sorry. So I first want to talk about these calls are designed to just be a place where we connect. We sometimes have a topic, sometimes we just kind of come together, see how everyone's progressing, where maybe the hurdles have been during the week, where um, any non-scale victories, any scale victories, how we're seeing like our daily lives be affected by our choice to be living a healthier and more fulfilling life. So with that said, let's jump right in. With 2B, we need, and not just with 2B, to life. We have been talking about how we need to get away from the all or nothing mindset. We have we I always refer to like my sports days. There's no doing anything half-ass. You want to be giving your all the time because someone's going to call you out if you're not. And it's actually great, like in the school setting or in I am playing with my screen and should not be because now I'm like losing myself. In the school setting, hi. In the school setting, you want people to be fully engaged, getting your schoolwork done. You don't want half-ass projects either. As a parent, you're trying to instill these values. And so it's really hard to go from gung-ho-ness to now have grace with yourself. Be okay that if you're going to have a treat at this meal, it doesn't mean you sabotage your evening, and it doesn't mean the next day needs to go in the same cycle. And then the same thing happens when it comes to our workouts. If a program is designed to be 7 days or a certain amount of days, and you miss a day, you start to have that guilt or that shame or that, oh no, I'm behind. And you either feel like you have to make it up. So people do this with their food. They feel like they need to make it up. They'll go work out more, or they go try to, I had that cookie or whatever. And they have that shame around it rather than just owning it, moving forward, understanding progress is not this straight arrow and that there's going to be the dips and the ups and downs, but the idea is that it continues to go up. So I always say success isn't linear. And so once we kind of understand that and embrace that, then we're able to like give ourselves more grace when it comes to that, but it still is hard. And just having that mindset that this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. This is a lifestyle. Like I don't even like using the term marathon because it's life. like this is our life that we're living. There's not like the end of the 30 days or the 60 days or the 90 days. It's like you want it to be sustainable for life. And so we have to go away from that all or nothing mindset because you're building habits in your life. And the idea is you will be able to have that cookie and then not feel the guilt and shame and agony about it and just be like, no, I was at my niece's birthday and I had a cookie and it was great. And then I moved on, and so just being able to have that perspective, and allowing yourself to have the breather, So I think that's huge. The next thing I wanted to talk about is having realistic expectations. It's one thing to have a 30-pound weight loss goal. Some people have 70-pound weight loss goals, in all areas of the spectrum. And so it's very important to, again, not get with, I need that all gone, we got to be patient with the process. If we think 2 pounds at a time, we'll get there. We just have to be patient about it. We talked about on different calls having like post-it notes and maybe doing 1 pound at a time, or some sort of graph that helps you understand that you are making progress. Or even just whenever you log, whether it's daily logs or if you do like once a week logs, just like you will see that dip. I was just on one of the calls with the 2B Mindset group, and it was showing someone's weight loss journey, and she showed when she had really good success, she wasn't working in the classroom. She was a teacher. And so she had her second child, and she was postpartum, and she wasn't in. She's like, so you see my chart kind of go down, I'm losing weight, but then once I started back in school, my stress, I wasn't as planned, or life starts happening, once you're away from a controlled environment. And so for her, when she went back to school, sometimes people, or back to work, sometimes people, when they go back to work, they have more success because they can like take their meals with them, and they're not just like grazing at their house and things like that. But back to the point of just having realistic goals. We know that it's big, but it's the small win strategy, and just cutting, if it's 100 pounds, just looking at it maybe as 10 pounds for a little bit. And then once you get those 10 pounds, you're going on to the next. Because again, we're looking for sustainability. The next piece I wanted to talk about was smart action. And that just goes back to, rather than either feeling overwhelmed or trying to get all of the information like first, or oh, I saw this dietitian post this, and then I saw these people were talking about their macros this way, and then this person was talking about the latest and greatest of whatever. It's like you hear someone loses 10 pounds this way, someone loses 10 pounds this way, someone loses 10 pounds, and you get so spread. But coming back to our 2B principles, water first, veggies most, tracking, like using our actual tracker, and the scale. I don't know if you guys have the Nutrition Plus, but I wanted to encourage. Alana is talking about the scale in one of her videos, and so I always find it interesting to see kind of what she says. I also, if you've ever talked with me, I always talk about we as women, and someone who has known people with multiple eating disorders, um, and just the so much comes when it comes to the scale. And so I am very, if it's something that kind of messes into your brain, then I want to stay away from that, as a trigger. So understanding and knowing your triggers can be good, or seeking out help to help you further with that is excellent. And then also, like I said, just kind of listening to Alana. I like hearing different perspectives on it, after my mom being a dietitian and I growing up with her, and kind of knowing, coming at it from a different perspective as well. Next, keep at it. Every setback sets us up for a better breakthrough. So if we can learn, because we're humans, we tend to like make the same we are very routine in our behaviors, even when we don't think we are. So like our self-sabotage behaviors, or what we're doing, starting again, getting back. What I love about 2B is it's just mindfulness, really, when it comes to eating. And Autumn talked about it today in the 9-week control freak workout. She was just saying, like, when you go, I say own your choices. She said something else, but like, she's just like, when you go to make your choice, think, is this going to set me closer to my goals or further away? And it can be so like a simple concept like that. Like, but I thought of it when I went to Starbucks and got my husband's mocha that he drinks every day. And then I'm like, I kind of was wanting something. And then I'm like, no, I'm just doing it because I'm here, because I'm with him. I don't really want anything or need anything. And so, sometimes that like philosophy works. And then sometimes it's, sometimes that like, that's like, okay, Nikki, you're telling me stuff, but that's not real life. Like there's stuff all the way around that we're that we always have um you know coming into us. Hello, Jess is coming in. And so we always have these different ways to distract ourselves. And so um hearing that, we have to remember that we can learn from our behaviors, our previous behaviors, and we can also try to help us. That's why you're told to clear out your pantry of all the crap or things that are going to tempt you, is because you self-sabotage yourself. So you learning from your own behaviors, and then that will help you learn from them for the next time. So that point was keep at it, and that every setback you're gonna come like stronger for a breakthrough. That was that point. The last point, and this always makes me laugh, this one. Stop saying things in the negative. So I always say, I'm not a good stay-at-home mom. Like I always say that. I'm not a good, like, I'm not the cook. I'm not like everybody who knows me or follows me. I don't like laundry. I don't like doing it. I'm bad at it. It stays there for weeks at a time. So one of the things, though, if you keep saying things in a negative, keep that habit going on. So you're going to continue to not be a very good housewife or not be very good at laundry. So it's bringing in the positivity. And so there's some areas that I do this better in, right? Than those. But bring the positivity into that. I can make healthy food decisions. I can own my choices. I feel great when I am following my 2B principles. I feel great when I am drinking my water every day. I feel great when I hit my goals and I get to sign off on my tracker. And those are like specific to 2B, but sorry, my connection is unstable. So who knows how long it's been like that. But allowing yourself to speak kindly to yourself, as well as it's kindness, and then it's empowering. And it's empowering yourself in those choices, no matter what you're doing, whether it's, feeding yourself, whether it's how you are in the workplace, whether it's how you are to other humans or your family, how you are in the different roles and capacities and the people that you are with. So that's one of the biggest things that I always stress, is your world is impacted every day. And how are you impacting it? Is it from a positive perspective? Are you breathing light and energy, like a positive energy into them? Or are you bringing negative energy into them? And they will feel it, and it's either going to radiate or it's going to like negate, and then it just like is a cluster in that way. So bringing joy into your space. And that's why it's so important for you to actually take care of you, because when you take care of yourself, you are coming from a better place to radiate onto others. And so then they can feel that energy and your world is impacted. So I believe in you. So it's just important for you to believe in yourself. And sometimes that's why you need to lean into your coach. You need to reach out to others. You need to share where your struggles are, because that is where the progress is made. So with that said, we are into the open time where if you have, all of you have never been on this call before. So I started off by saying we usually we either have a topic or we just jump into how the week is gone, how you're feeling, what decisions like are positive, or maybe where you have struggled, what like obstacles you might have, any non-scale victories or any victories. So we kind of just share in the victories, and it's an open forum. So you can just chime in or you can chat in the chat box. Let me know. Any thoughts, comments? And Kaylee had to work overtime tonight, so she wasn't able to make it. So Jess, thanks for being here. Emily, Gretchen at work. I see you're all in your work environments. Are you gonna say something, Jess?
Thanks for doing it. And thanks for the reminders to jump on. I loved everything that you're saying. My personal for accountability is like actually tracking, and I know 2B only works when you track, right? And so I'm in a unique stage where I recognize if I can't track my and take that back. If I choose not to prioritize tracking because of life being too crazy, instead of just not doing anything, I still know the thing, like the foundation of 2Bmindset that's so important. And so, drinking water first and eating veggies most, like so good. Like for us to just prioritize at least that. And so I just want to encourage, like, if other people are not able to do, I don't like saying not able. Everyone can do it. It's just that we choose at some points in life not to prioritize it. Well, and so if you're in that place, I would, oh yeah, totally. But I see people, oh, well, I can't do the whole thing, so I'm just going to go eat a pizza, Right. And I think that it's so empowered to be able to drink water before we eat a meal, and right. And to find vegetables and look at our plate and put, just eat more vegetables, drink more water. And that's such an empowering feeling to know, like, even when life is really crazy, I can do those two things. That's all I want to share.
Yes. No, that was one of the points, is like to not overwhelm yourself with it, and just really, if you can come back to the principles. And there's always, as I have my bunnies out, I always do this, and my kids start doing it now, but like we've talked about it on previous previous calls. Like there's tracking, and then there's actual tracking, there's like accounting for every little thing. And so my biggest thing is, like, if you're on a super strict weight loss journey, like where you want to know, is this working? Is this like, then you need to be tracking your shiz, is what I like to say. Otherwise, like if it's like healthy eating, want healthy habits, then the bunnies and understanding it, like you're going to get there. And so just to stay the course, because that's what I was saying. Like, it's lifestyle. You can't expect yourself, if you're not someone who's going to track everything, you can't expect you to go 0 to 100 and then do it forever. Like that's not understandable. But even Alana talks about how when she feels that she's not, like when she's kind of like, oh, I need to reel it back in, then she goes back to the tracker. She goes back to like actually focus, not hocus pocus, focus. Any other comments, wins, anything you want to share, questions?
I had a win the last 2 days.
Tell us, Gretchen,
I'm a culinary arts teacher, and last 2 days I've been teaching lemon glazed scones. Okay. So my room has smelled amazing, but I did not eat a single one.
Oh my gosh, that's victorious.
I stayed right on track. for my ultimate reset too. So
awesome.
And it was really funny because I made my lunch after school, and one of my coworkers comes running in and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what are you making? Are you making pizza?" And I'm like, "No." And then I showed them what was like in the pot, and it was like power greens and quinoa and sweet potato, and they're like, "That smells good." I'm like, "Yeah." So those are my wins.
Those are awesome. I love that.
Holy smokes, you're baking while reset. That is major boss mode.
Yeah. Ultimate reset.
It's hard.
Yeah. And Jess had just gone through that a month ago-ish. Yeah. Yeah. It's a challenge, but man, it's nice. It's a reward too when you get through it all. Britt, any wins? Anything?
Okay, so I mean, like every day there's always something cool that I discover. But I noticed tonight that, because when you like first start 2Bmindset, it's really hard to kind of give up the carbs at night. And I noticed that like brain center, your carb center, is not screaming at me at night or even really in the afternoon. I think I told you guys this. There was a day where I like chose to eat an apple instead of like a piece of toast or something as my carb. And I was like, and it was easy to choose. And I was like, this is badass. I like hardly eat any like bread anymore. I mean, and it's not even really like, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just like, I really want to eat. I'm trying to do like all these like organic and whole foods, and I'm really trying to educate myself on like what's good-ish and what isn't, and even like down to like oils and stuff, like olive oils, and it's been really neat. I'm still down like 10.6 pounds, but like I splurged. Like I really wanted spaghetti on Monday last week. I think it was last week. And I went out to Cheesecake Factory and I had their spaghetti and it was delicious and I have no regrets. Okay.
Perfect.
Awesome. And I think I gained like 1.5 pounds or whatever doing that. And I like knew I would, didn't care. And I just like jumped back on, did my thing, lost it immediately. And then I think on Friday I did something else. Oh yeah, I went to Texas Roadhouse and I talked on my stories about it that I felt swollen that next day after I ate like 3 or 4 of those rolls and a bloomin' onion and all the things. Didn't regret it. But still, it's like it hindered my weight loss a little bit. So I'm back down like again to my like lowest weight since I started this. So I'm hoping to hit like, I told Ryan, I was like, okay, no more splurges by Florida, because I'm going to Florida in March. And I was like, I really want to be like in the 170s, low 170s, something like that. Like another 10 pounds would be awesome. But if I don't get there, I'm not mad. That's a goal.
Yeah, you want to be feeling good and knowing that you're owning your choices. That the first thing I talked about tonight was all or nothing. Like it's not linear. Success isn't linear. And so like you being able to comfortably eat that as opposed to shamefully eat that. And that's where the growth is in the journey, is when you can like own your choices and be like, I had the cheesecake spaghetti and it was awesome. And then like move on the next day, rather than like, I had the cheesecake spaghetti. I'm awful. I might as well just have this cheesecake and eat that one. And then the next day be like, yep, I'm going to have this donut. And like it just can just spiral out of control.
Yeah. And just beat myself up. There's no reason for that. And the way I kind of like put it, like when I talk to some of my friends about it, I'm like, okay, if you're going to Disneyland and you hit like a detour or you hit like a road construction, do you turn around and go home? Like, no, you just like take the detour and you keep going.
I love that analogy. That is awesome.
Right? It makes so much sense.
Well, I guess we're just headed back.
It's like, well, guess we gotta go home now. No, it doesn't work that way.
I love that.
I like so many mental wins with this, because I just it's sad, because it's I look at some of my friends and I've seen literally people chug apple cider vinegar and eat nothing. I'm just hey dude, look, I'm over here, I can eat this stuff. You can still have carbs. You don't have to count all these things. You don't have to count points. And you don't have to beat yourself up. And it's amazing. And then I have this really supportive group of friends, and they're amazing. And look at all of us. We're all losing weight, still drinking wine.
That's the best.
So.
I love
That
that.
needs to be a t-shirt. Or look at us. We're all losing weight and still drinking wine.
Yeah. Honestly, I'll buy it right now. Emily, I see you're getting in the car. Do you have any wins or anything you can share with us today?
Oh my God.
The mask is off.
Trying to get out of there as soon as possible so that I could get on here with you guys. Oh,
you made it. But before you start driving, do you have anything to share?
Yes. Yeah. So I did not hit my water goal today, and I am upset about it. I have such a hard time drinking water when I'm at work, just because I just stalled my car. Just because we have our masks on all day and it's just crazy. So that was not a win for me, and I'm kind of frustrated about it. Also, I've had a super hard time tracking. It's just getting in the habit of it and building that habit that I'm having a hard time with. But I had a really good lunch today that I'm super proud of, and I had a really good breakfast that I'm super proud of. So those two things are definitely a win for me.
Those are huge. And you haven't eaten dinner, so can we go for a triple?
Wait, I have a what? What'd you say, Nikki?
Oh, I just
you
said.
Cut out, right when?
Oh. Zoom. Me. I just said, and you haven't had dinner yet, so you have opportunity.
Yeah, I haven't had dinner yet. I missed my carb today at lunch, which I was kind of whatever about. But other than that, it's been good.
Good. And you're sore, so that means your exercise extra credit is working your body. So it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm super sore. I talked to Brittany, so I ordered the MBF challenge pack and then did an MBF workout and realized that it's a little bit advanced for me. So I'm going to do bar first and really just get my flexibility and my strength up, just because I am coming off of a ankle injury right now, and all of the jumping and intensity is just a lot. So yeah.
Well, that's a great plan. I mean, Britt freaking loves bar. I love bar. Bar is such a good one. And I think it's a really good foundational place to go. And then you'll just be building strength as you go. And then you want to be strong in your upper body. You're going to get lean with that. So that's a great plan of action. Then you'll be getting your stuff for MBF, and you'll be able to do that later too. So that is awesome. I know, oh shoot, I'm not prepared. Kaylee always does this, and I'm the worst at it. But we usually try to shout out if we know of any other weight loss goals. And Gretchen was one of mine that I wanted to share. She's been feeling kind of that hit by a bus feeling when you do Ultimate Reset. But she said she's lost 4 pounds and then a total of 9 since starting with us, which I feel like it was right after Christmas Gretchen might be able to share more of the accurate data, but
I didn't start the 2B. So I started after Christmas, but I couldn't bring to weigh myself. So it's been 10 pounds since I actually weighed myself. And I think that was 2.5 weeks ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. That's
But
freaking awesome.
I'm on the reset. So
Right.
That's
right
amazing.
now,
Yeah, girl.
but I haven't dropped anything in the last 2 days. So, but that's fine. I think I'm on like the end of week 1. So I figure then that's kind of how it goes into then week 2. Then you probably, once you shift things up with your supplements and everything, it changes it up.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
And there will be periods where you lose inches instead of pounds. Like it goes, I feel like it kind of alternates a little bit too, and everyone's body's a little bit different. But that's amazing.
I'm in jeans for like the 2nd day in a row that are very comfortable.
Yay, that's
I'm
huge.
like, wow, that's nice.
That was another one of the wins, because I was like, yeah, she's in pants she couldn't even fit in 2 weeks ago or something. Yeah. So, so shout out to all you bunnies. I'm proud of you.
Fun question. So if you don't eat, like say you don't eat a carb or you don't eat one of your categories for one of your meals, can you like say like with Emily's situation, she didn't eat a carb for lunch. So can she eat that for dinner? Or do you just say like, oh, it didn't happen at lunch, I'm not gonna do it for dinner?
Well, there's a couple different ways. You are in control of what you're putting in your mouth, so you can choose if you want your carb. Couple things and the reasons with carb being on the front end of our days, carbs provide energy. And at night when we get the energy and we just are sitting on the couch and then go to bed, like there's not a lot of stuff for that energy to do. But so listen to your body. If you have like more of a nutrient dense carb, I mean, I always like knowing M's weight loss goals, that she has. If she doesn't feel she like needs it, if she can have something else that is she can have a lot of food still that doesn't necessarily need to be carby. Or it can be like sweet potato that's going to be nutrient dense and it's going to be, like there's no ingredients. That's what I always tell my kids. There's no ingredients in this. This is a sweet potato. Nothing has been altered, so like but like I'm always a super big fan of what the heck was I gonna say? Like the fried rice, like cauliflower rice, and then you can have a lot of veggies and it replaces in my brain / things like carb, and you get a lot for it. I know Jess is happy to jump in on this. I mean, she's chatting with her kids, but I always like hearing her thoughts too.
All right. Sorry, I've got kids in the background. I'm choking on power greens.
Oh.
Just a normal thing. I would just, everything that you said, I think was perfect. If someone has serious weight loss goals, then I would probably still not do the carb with dinner. And if not so serious weight loss goals, then listen to your body. But I think everything that you said was great. I really have been loving zucchini noodles with even spaghetti sauce. Like if I'm craving spaghetti, I'll have zucchini noodles with spaghetti sauce. And I buy the bag of chicken meatballs, like all natural chicken meatballs from Costco, and have those on hand. And it's such an easy, really filling dinner. So you don't feel like deprived, like you're having iceberg lettuce for dinner. Like that's the point.
Yeah. Or I'm like, you guys haven't been on calls before, but we talk about like, I love Mexican food. So like tacos and just like, whether it's a lettuce, or jicama, or like making it a salad, and and just being able to enjoy it and not feel deprived. But it's one day. I wouldn't want to get in that habit. So I think that goes back to something I didn't say, but I'm a huge, one of the things I love about the 2B tracker is she has the week ahead planner like part. I do that anyways, just like on a random scratch piece of paper. I'll like write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I do BLD. I'm real creative. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, like, so I anticipate what I'm having for those meals. And then I make my grocery list based off of those. What I don't have in the house, avocado toast is like my love. And I love that it's a 2B, I can have it with eggs or something for 2B. But I've even tried to swap that with the sweet potato. Like I'm trying to get less grain in my life. So, but I think that helps with the planning. So then your day, you would kind of know what you're going to have for your breakfast, lunch, and your dinner, and there's going to be some days where it just like doesn't go according to plan, but it kind of just helps mentally know where you're getting your carbs and know, where you're getting your energy. I know when I started tracking 2B more, I've had a lot more energy in the afternoon. And I'm like, oh, because I'm fueling my body properly, like rather than opting for it not in the early part of the day. And then that's usually when people are dragging are the afternoons. And so then you're grabbing supplement, like something to try to keep you up. And so then you're having your 4 cups of coffee, Britt, or, different things like that. So,
Hey, you'd be proud of me. I'm only drinking 1 cup of coffee, 1 cup of Energized, and like 4 40-ounce bottles of water.
woo,
And
that's a huge victory.
Oh yeah, my crash has been like way less. And when I want to drink something, I drink herbal tea that's not caffeinated. My whole thing in the wintertime right now is I want something hot and in my hands all the time. So I'm on Zoom for like today I was on Zoom for 8 hours a day. Yesterday was 10 hours for school, because we just did our introductions intro week for nursing school and stuff for second semester. And it's like I noticed that I like want a snack. That's one thing, but it's like I've been noticing that, well, so first of all, my afternoons, like today I was tired, but I wasn't crashing like I have been before. It used to be after lunch when I was at work, I'd drink Energized because I was crashing. And I'm like, nope, because I literally did not sleep. I did have coffee the other day in the afternoon. It was like 2:00 and I did not sleep probably at all that night. And I was like, okay, caffeine is becoming more sensitive. Like, this is insane. So I'm just really trying not to do that. But the snacking thing is my next question after if we have anything else to say, because I snack.
Yeah. Let me put this out into the universe too. I should not be having caffeine, and I had to have an Energized this afternoon, and I totally had a piece of chocolate that was at work, and it's that like 2:00. I need something to snack on. I need something sweet. I need something to like boost my energy. And it drives me insane because I don't want to have that. I just want consistent, sustained energy. But I feel like if I have that second carb with my lunch at like noon, I still hit 3:00 and I'm like, I'm tired. So it's not necessarily my issue of, I could care less about a carb in the evening. Like, I don't need it. It's not something that is an issue for me. It's that between noon and 3:00 hour that I struggle with.
I think it would just be also picking something that I like. For me, I've been picking things that are like whole foods. So I know like nuts are more of like an accessory, but I've been doing like just a small, I don't know if like 6, 7, I don't count them, like 1/4 cup of walnuts with like a couple, I sprinkle some dark chocolate chips in there or cacao nibs or whatever you got, Emily, with some like pepitas. I don't know if this is necessarily good, but I'm like, I could either reach for a carb or I could have these nuts that are going to keep me full and not tired. Nikki, does that make sense? I don't know, Jess.
Yeah,
I don't know
no, it makes sense.
On that.
I have a lot to say. One, I would
Hear it.
say, are you able to take a Shakeology with you? Because Shakeology sometimes helps with that, like, curbing of things. And then I also, going back to like what you're just talking about, I am a big fan of like apple nachos. So like cutting up an apple, peanut butter on it, throw a couple real dark like chocolate chips. I just get dark chocolate chips or whatever, but like chocolate chips on it. Then you're getting a little chocolate. Like, again, we're not trying to have shame around our like eating. And the more we can enjoy it, like that goes back to 2B. Like Alana likes to eat. She likes flavor. She likes to eat a lot. And so that's why I love it. Cause I'm like, I like eating a lot. I don't want to be told I got to have only this little amount or whatever. So, and just like that's where the tracking is going to be so helpful, Emily. Like if you actually track how today went or how the next day, you know, like, and track over track and actually track every single thing. It's not cheating if you track what you put in your mouth. And then your body is going to tell you what you can. So if you can, like having a little piece of dark chocolate, if that like allows you to not go crazy and eat like all like 5 dark chocolates and later eat stuff, you know, then have the one. Or if Shakeology is going to help curb it, or if the nacho, you know, like if something like that, or your nuts, like you're getting healthy fats there too, Britt. I have trouble with just having a little bit of nuts. So, and I think they inflame, and I think I'm like, you know, they're somewhere on my scale. So I try to stay away from them. But for so long, I went to nuts, and then I realized I was like bloated and not feeling good. And I mean, it could be because I was like overeating them, like shoveling.
When I eat like salted, like if I eat peanuts or if I eat salted nuts or certain kind of roasted nuts, I've noticed that I'm noticing certain foods do certain things to my body now, and I'm trying to pay attention to that. So I don't have any problems with walnuts. And I've noticed that chocolate actually does a little bit. It just depends on how the chocolate is and if it's has a lot of sugar in it or not. It's weird. I don't know. I'm learning that one too.
Yeah. And Emily,
Um,
back to like coffee and things, just having yourself aware and like obviously I would love if you can like ease off that. That's another reason why I suggested like Shakeology, because it's gonna, not only is it gonna help. I always talk about Shakeology, if you could envision like a styrofoam cup with a bunch of holes in it, and then you eat, and then like you pour water in it. Like that's us eating food, but it's gonna like go through, and then we're gonna need to fill it up again. When we fill our body with Shakeology, I feel like it plugs some of those things up. So it allows us not only to stay like feel that full and satisfied, but it's also giving us proper nutrients. So then we don't crave crap as much, you know, like, so it does help that. But not for everyone, not for everyone, but a lot of people it can, because our our American diets like are so filled with sugar and just all the things that it can help kind of bring it down a little bit, you know, and everybody's situations are different. But
Yeah, I tend to get kind of frustrated because I talk to my sister and she's always like, "Oh yeah, I can have a Shakeology and be full for 6 hours," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. I can only be full of Shakeology if I put like 3 cups of spinach and like a whole bunch of berries and banana and all sorts of stuff like that into it and make it something that's like huge. Then I'll stay full, but
yeah,
it's one of those things where having it with water, I kind of just have to take it
yeah.
because I think it would long run. Also, has anyone had any experience with the bevy sticks at all? Because I ordered some of those and I'm curious to see how they're going to work.
Oh yeah, I just had one this afternoon because so I took my husband, I mean, I get my husband a coffee every day. That's like his one vice, and I'm okay with it. You know, he's like, um, But the pomegranate bevy, I like personally more, like for that sweetness slash curbing. It does have fiber in it, so it helps that way too. But I enjoy it, and I enjoy because I can have like a Shakeology, like I can have a bigger cup of it. And so it's just something for me. I also have talked about seltzer waters in the past, or like LaCroix, or like even these Spindrift ones. These are carbonated water, raspberry puree, raspberry juice, and lime juice. No sugar added. There's one sugar. Like it's just like finding, like sometimes it's just like having stuff in your hand, drinking something, and just kind of trying to weed not weed, wean yourself off of things. And so, like I said, getting back to if you're craving like an apple with peanut butter and some chocolate chips, it just seems sweeter, and it's, and the apple's going to be filling you, the peanut butter or nut butter is going to be giving you healthy fat, also filling you more. And then that chocolate piece, or like coconut or whatever you want to put on top, brings a little bit of that. But even Britt, like making those zucchini muffins, like we also like to help
I
with
love that.
our craving of sweetness. You can also have those for breakfast, or have one of those at your lunchtime, and then you're hitting that, or maybe even bring that, add that, like as if it's your carb for your lunch, but you have it like at your 2 o'clock, like, and see if that, and again,
Because you can have a
tracking.
snack.
Yeah, tracking how
Emily,
it's
you
going.
can have your snack at so your snack, so you have your lunch is 25% protein, 25% carbs, 50% veggies, and so is your snack if you want. So, like that's, and for me, like my snacking looks a little weird in the afternoons or whatever, just because I'm sitting at a table all day, and I'm like, but today I was really proud of myself. I didn't grab anything bad. I was like, okay, if I can keep my food, whatever I'm going to grab, whole, then it's going to be awesome. Like I ate an apple with peanut butter today, dried mango that had no added sugar to it. It was just mango. I try not to eat too much of that because it's high in sugar.
Yeah.
And then I think I might have had nuts, and then I had just like random stuff. I had like seaweed, those like seaweed packs that you can get, and then like some like freeze dried okra. Just like weird things, but I just wanted to snack on things, but not like chips or anything that wasn't going to be good for me. So we'll see what the scale says in the morning, but I did that yesterday too.
And that's the part that I struggle with. Like, I struggle with allowing myself to have that snack in the morning and afternoon because I'm afraid that it's going to hinder my results in the long run. And I feel like I'm in such a critical time where everything counts that I almost can't bring myself to be allowed to have that.
Yeah.
Because I just am afraid of what it's going to do.
Yeah. So that, and the call earlier, I had like different points, but like there's different pieces of like, sometimes therapy is needed. Also, because we are working to get more of just accepting of, but like some things are above my pay grade, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, we can work, you can adapt, you can track, you can talk. But then it is so mental, and with 2B, we are trying to be mindful. We're trying to own our choices. We're trying to be okay with them. And it's when we're feeling those shame, it's good to be aware of that. But we still like, some of my fears, Emily, are that you're going to just, and we're like to our final minute, but, is that you're going to not do it, and then just say, F it, because the scale's not whatever number that you have in your brain. The big goal is we want you to start feeling the feeling. How are you feeling? How are you feeling showing up, working for yourself? How are you feeling that you made those healthier choices for your lunch and your breakfast? How are you feeling when you own your choice at your dinner, and then you wake up in the morning ready to go? Like, or and it is going to shift. Like there is going to be some of that like shame and guilt, but then it's going to be, then you're going to be able to shift into like, oh, I'm feeling so good. I want to eat this, or I want to do this decision, or I want this, and stuff like that.
And yeah, I mean, that is the cycle, Nikki. I've talked with Brittany extensively about this, but that is the cycle that I have.
I'm happy to jump on. We're gonna end. We're gonna end our night, and then we'll just go back to the link. We'll go back into this. But thank you guys for jumping on. Let's just use the link again.
Okay, so if you want to cue me, just keep
Yeah.
going. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, cool.